Hello everyone, this is Jyotsna. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we will see about the topic performance testing. So, performance testing is one of the type of software testing and it comes under non-functional testing types. So performance testing is a software testing process used for the testing of application speed, response time, stability, reliability, scalability, and resource uses for the software application under a particular workload. So based on this, there are different types of performance testing also. The main purpose of performance testing is to identify and eliminate the software bottlenecks in the software application. Performance testing is a subset of performance engineering and this is also known as perf testing. The focus of performance testing is checking the software program for speed, scalability, and stability. Speed means determining whether the application responds the quickly for the user uses. And scalability is to determine the maximum user load the software application can handle. And stability determines if the application is stable under the varying workloads. So next is why do we do performance testing? Why do we need performance testing? So while doing the functional testing of software, checking the software application's performance like its response time, its reliability, resource uses, or scalability is also a big concern. The goal of performance testing is not to find bugs but to eliminate performance bottlenecks. Performance testing will determine whether the software meets speed, scalability, stability requirements under expected workload. So without performance testing, software is likely to suffer from issues such as running slow while several users use it simultaneously or inconsistencies across different operating systems and poor usability. So these issues might come if you don't do the performance testing. So with performance testing, we can overcome with these issues. There are some example like mission critical application like space launch program or life-saving medical equipment should be performance tested to ensure that they run for a long period of time without deviations. There was one example for the google.com in 19th August 2013. Google.com website went down for the 5 minutes, but that estimate their cost of estimation for that 5 minutes was $5,45,000. So they that 5 minute downtime cost Google this much amount. So this is one of the example for performance testing. Why we need performance testing. The next is when do we do performance testing? So after the functional testing, after we do our system testing, then performance testing comes. We will do the performance testing once the software is stable and move to the production. As I said, after doing all the functionality testing, we do the performance testing. And it may be accessed by the multiple user concurrently. Due to this reason, some performance issue may occur and we use the performance testing to overcome those issues or to find out those issues. Since it is a non-functional testing, which doesn't mean that we always use performance testing, we only go for performance testing when the application is functionally stable. Next is types of performance testing. There are different types of performance testing. Some are listed here. Testing, stress testing, scalability, endurance, spike, and volume testing. So we will see one by one these types of testing. First one is load testing. So in load testing, we checks the application's ability to perform under anticipated anticipated user loads. Here, the objective of load testing is to identify performance bottlenecks before the software application goes live. One of the example is in the below image, you can see here are 1000 users per 3 second. I mean, if there are 1000 users and we are using or our goal is to use 3 users per second. So in the below image 1000 users are the desired load which is given by the customer and 3 per second is the goal which we want to achieve while performing a load testing. So while doing our load testing we need to take 1000 user and for per second we need to have 3 users use our application. So this is one of the example to check for the load balance in the application under the performance testing. The next is stress testing. It involves testing an application under extreme workload to see how it handles high traffic or data processing. The objective is to identifying the breakpoint of the application. One of the example here, there are 1100 users, which is increased desired load, and our goal is 4 user per second. If you took the above example and increase the desired load 1000 to 1100 users, means we are increasing the desired load by 100 and the goal is 4 user per second. While performing the stress testing in this scenario, it will pass because the load is greater than 100 up than the actual desired load. So this is one of the example for stress testing. The next is scalability testing. So checking the performance of an application by increasing or decreasing the load in a particular scale, means number of user, is known as scalability testing. The objective of scalability testing is to determine the software application effectiveness in scaling up to support a increase in user load. So there are two types of scalability testing, upward and downward. In upward, it is the testing where we increase the number of users on a particular scale until we get a crash point. We will use upward scalability testing to find the maximum capacity of application. While the downward scalability testing, here in this testing, it used when the load testing is not passed, and then start decreasing the number of users in a particular interval until the goal is achieved, so that it is easy to identify the bottleneck, which we call as bug for the system. The next is endurance testing. It is done to make sure the software can handle the expected load over a long period of time. The fifth one is spike testing. It tests the software's reaction to sudden large spike in the load generated by users. The last one is volume testing. Under the volume testing, large number of data is populated in a database and the overall software system's behavior is monitored. The objective of the volume testing is to check software applications performance under the various database volumes. These are the different six types of performance testing. Next is common performance problems. There are, while doing the performance testing, there are some problems occurs which are very common. Some are listed here. First one is long load time. Long, so here long load time. The load time is normally the initial time it takes to application to start. This usually generally we kept to minimum. Second is poor response time. Response time is the time it takes from when user inputs data into application until the application output a response to the input. Generally, this should be very quick. Again, if the user must wait too long, they lost interest in the application. The third one is poor scalability. A software product suffers from poor scalability when it cannot handle the expected number of users or when it does not accommodate a enough range of users. Load testing should be done to a certain the application can handle the anticipated number of users. So poor scalability is one of the very common performance problem. The last one is bottlenecking. So bottlenecks are obstructions in a system that degrade overall system performance. So there are different types of bottlenecks are there, like CPU utilization, memory utilization, network utilization, operating system limitations, or disk uses. These are some of the performance bottlenecks that most of the time user can face. So that's for this video. Thank you so much for watching the video.